Social Studies, Chapter 3, Lesson 3. Go ahead and open up your books to page 86, and you'll see a page like this. If you need to pause the video to get open to that page, go ahead and do that. All right, I want you to think about, normally we'd be in class right now, we would be asking and talking to a partner about why we sometimes write ideas down on paper. So I want you to pause the video and actually go ahead and think about that. Why do we write some things down on paper? And think of some different situations that we write down ideas on paper. All right, good. If you've unpaused the video now, let's talk about that. So I kind of thought about that too on my own, and I had some ideas on why we decided to write some things down. What do you think, Slobber? Right. You're right. I have a grocery, you've seen me do that before. I have a grocery list, and on my grocery list I write down the things I need from the store, and it's so that I can remember the things that I need at the store, huh? You want some more dog food and chocolate ice cream and Twinkies? I'll consider the dog food, but I don't know about the chocolate ice cream and Twinkies. All right, so the Slobber had an idea. So one was just that sometimes he sees me writing down things on a grocery list so that I don't forget those things, and he's right about that. And there might be some others. What do you think?
I knew.
Yes, Spike. What do you know about what you write things down for?
Yeah, so like the other day I was playing with a friend and we were playing a game and I rolled the dice and I thought I was supposed to go like again after I rolled a 6, and then my friend said, "No, you're not supposed to do that." And I said, "Yes, I'm supposed to do that." And my friend said, "No, you're not supposed to do that." And I said, "Yes, you're supposed to do that."
Does this have an end?
Yeah.
Oh, so what happened then?
Well, so then we got the rules out, and we looked at the rules that were written down, and my friend was right. I wasn't supposed to go again. But that was helpful, though, because otherwise we would have just kept arguing and arguing about what the rules were.
That's a good idea, Spike. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All right. So there's a grocery list. There were rules of a game was helpful. I was also thinking sometimes people write in their diaries. You know, they have a journal or something that they write their thoughts or things that have happened. And sometimes people write in those journals not for the people that are alive right now, but maybe one day they have kids or they have grandkids and they want to share some of their experiences that they had in life, and it's the best way to share those experiences. So we're going to talk about some other people that wrote some things down for us and for this country, okay? We're going to first talk about building colonies, okay? Long ago, people came here from England. They built colonies. A colony is land ruled by another country. The colonies grew fast. They soon wanted independence or freedom from England. Okay, so why do you think some of those people left England? What maybe are some reasons why they left England? Okay, so here, yep, they wanted independence and they wanted freedom. Also, some of those people, they wanted some more space. England, maybe they weren't able to have their own property because things were kind of quite expensive. But when you go to a new land that hasn't really been developed yet, they were able to claim large portions of land for themselves and start a new life. So in a lot of ways, it was an opportunity for them to start a new life over there. And maybe also for the adventure of it. Sometimes it's just nice to have something different. Okay, so that's why some of them probably moved over there. All right, the Declaration of Independence. On July 4th, 1776, leaders of the colonies signed a document. Okay, document is a special kind of paper. Looks like this, okay? A document or a piece of paper with important information. It was called the Declaration of Independence. It said the colonies were free. In it, Thomas Jefferson wrote, "All men are created equal." Okay? The main idea and details, it wants us to underline details about the Declaration of Independence. So what are some things that they tell us about the Declaration of Independence? What do you think? Because it said colonies were free. That was one piece. That's one detail about it. You're right. Some people might say it was important. Okay, what's another detail about it? Good. All men are created equal. Okay, and it was this long document, and I actually have what's called a replication here, reproduction, sorry. And this would be kind of what it would look like if you were to see it in real life. Now, this isn't the real one, obviously. I would probably be in big trouble if I had the real one right now. But this is what it would look like. It's the kind of paper that they would write it on, and it had all of those names at the bottom signed. Those are all the people that were in attendance, that were in charge of the different parts of the colonies. Okay, it's pretty cool to look at. All right, go ahead and turn the page. All right, the U.S. Constitution. England fought a war to keep the colonies. The colonists won their freedom. Then the leaders wrote the Constitution of the United States. A constitution is a written set of laws. Our Constitution lists the laws of our government. That's pretty interesting.
Hey. That's like what my problem was.
Yeah, it is. It's like exactly like your problem. Because when you started to play the game, you kind of thought you knew what you were doing and played most of the game okay, right?
Yeah.
And then, but there was like one thing that happened, and you needed to figure out what the real rule was, huh? Like what the rule was for the game.
Yeah, just like that. So, I'm glad they wrote it down. And now the country also has some rules, and that's part of the Constitution.
That's exactly right.
I like the Constitution. I'm gonna go look at it.
Okay. All right, so over time, amendments or changes were made. Leaders added rules to protect our rights. The first 10 changes to the Constitution are known as the Bill of Rights. Okay, so again, amendments, that's a big word, but it just means that they changed some things in the law. They changed some things that had to do with words. Certain words were used in the language, and they wanted to change those words to make things more fair. Okay, now let's look over here. The First Amendment of the Bill of Rights says you are free to meet, to talk about the government. So you can get together and you can talk all you want about the government. Believe it or not, in some countries, that's not okay. There are some countries that say you can't have open conversations about the government, okay, about their government. Here, you are free to practice any religion. Again, not true in all countries, many countries, but not all of them. So in this country, you're able to practice any religion that you want. Okay? Here, you are free to speak about your own ideas and opinions. So you might have an idea that maybe even most people don't agree with, and it's still okay for you to have that idea and for you to have that opinion. Okay? You are free to write and speak about your own ideas and opinions in newspapers or radio. So that's another thing. You can even announce your ideas. Okay? All right, let's do cause and effect. Remember, because one thing happens, then something else happens, okay? Why was the Declaration of Independence signed? So this is the effect. They want to know why this thing happened. So what was the cause? What was that cause? Yes, the people, the colonies, wanted to be free from England, okay? The colonies, we're going to write this in here. The colonies wanted this over a little bit. Wanted freedom. We'll just put that in there. Would have used a different sentence if we had some more lines, but I think we will just stick with that. Colonies wanted freedom. And what did the colonists give up, and what did they get in return? What did they give up? Yeah, so they ended up having to give up some of their comforts. You know, there were some things that they had to give up, and then what did they get in return? So they gave up comfortable things, okay? Because there were some things that they would get from England that England would ship to them. We'll put some comforts. And we'll say and then we will have to just make our own little line underneath here. And what did they get in return? They got freedom. Part of the giving up of comforts was that they had to fight in the war, okay? And, yeah. All right, I think that's it. Go ahead and talk to your parents about that. There's a whole lot more on this information. You'll be learning a lot about that, especially in 5th grade. But you can always look up this kind of stuff on the internet and find out more about what happened and why. It's real interesting. Have a good day.